If you're new here, my name is Maya, and I started this series because I cut open 3 apples a couple weeks ago. There was only 1 seed inside of all 3 of those apples. So since that happened, I started laying out different food items outside to see how bugs and animals react. Here's the update on the bread and the crackers that I laid out earlier today. Next phase of the experiment.
Okay, I promised folks that I was not going to make content just snarking on other creators. And so I want you to understand that this video will be educational. I think that there is a lot to unpack here and it is worth examining. As a permaculture person who has been an advocate for locally grown, nutrient-dense, high flavor profile food, who believes that people deserve to eat richly and well, who believes in local seasonal eating, I have a lot of thoughts about this video.
Let's try all this. Going to check on all the bread and crackers and everything. Oh my. Okay. And then I'm gonna put this bread out, the homemade bread. Okay, here's the update. Everything's gone except for the sourdough bread. Decided I'm gonna move everything to where I know there are bugs, because obviously we know there's animals, and the animals are fine to eat at all. But let's just see what the bugs do, you know? I will say it is very interesting that the daytime animals left that sourdough bread, because I buy that assuming that it's better for me, but...
As a scientist by training, I am really concerned about the rise of pseudoscience and anti-intellectualism in American society. And I would like to say that I wasn't surprised when I went and looked at this creator's profile and saw that she was from Indiana, but I'm not snarking on Hoosiers and I'm not snarking on anybody, because this video could have been made by literally any American in any community. Pseudoscience is a big problem. The degradation of scientific education is something that conservatives in this country have pursued for decades. Evangelicals in this country are afraid of science, afraid of scientific rigor, afraid of teaching kids the scientific method because they might come to believe evolution. If you understand how to think critically, if you understand the scientific method, if you know how to put together a rigorous experiment, then it's much, much more difficult to deceive you. And so we have watched conservatives erode scientific understanding and scientific education in this country for a long time. With the rise of Maha, I'm not saying this creator is Maha, you have seen this swell of pseudoscience. Creators like David Avocado Wolf. There are other folks in permaculture who put out pseudoscience who are quite grifty. I am not one of those, even though I believe that we deserve locally grown, nutrient-dense, organic food. I also understand science, and I also understand that a lot of fear of food, and gosh, you guys, the comments in this woman's video were just full of people who were really freaked out. I don't know what they thought that they were witnessing. I don't know why they're afraid of seedless apples. I don't know why they're afraid of seeing dry, crusty, desiccated bread that like bugs don't want to eat and thinking that that means something nefarious. I don't know, but it is definitely an emotional reaction. Fear is something that is much more easy to cultivate when you have this fertile ground of ignorance, right? And I don't mean ignorance in a negative way. Like, that's a neutral term. People are not educated. Ignorant just means uneducated.
Good morning. Here is the latest on produce that I left outside last night. This is where the banana was, so that's a good sign.
Girl, what?
Wait.
So I want to take a couple of moments here and respond to some of the assertions that this creator is making. Basically, her premise is that some food is fake or sus, and some food is real food and is good for you. And the way that she is conducting her experiment is that she's cutting up food from different sources, putting it out in her garden, and seeing if insects go for it, if it gets ants on it, seeing if squirrels or raccoons or rats, like I think really what she's doing is feeding rats and raccoons in her backyard if they take away the food. And if it's left, if it's not disturbed, then she knows that that food is fake. So this is pseudoscience. It is going through the rituals of an experiment without actually conducting a real experiment, without actually following the scientific method. But it looks sciencey on the surface. And when you don't understand the difference, it can seem like you're able to draw conclusions, but you have not set up an experiment and you're not actually collecting data and you're not actually able to draw conclusions from whatever results it is that you think that you're seeing. When she's surprised that none of the critters came for the sourdough bread, that's because it's obviously really, really stale. Dry bread is really difficult to eat. Like, If I put out stale bread in my garden, my chickens are not fucking gonna touch it, right? But also, neither are other critters. Now, there's a couple exceptions to that. Raccoons will come and take it, and then they will promptly go to my bird bath, and they will wash that bread in the water, make my bird bath all gross, trying to rehydrate that bread so that they will eat it. But overwhelmingly, critters aren't gonna go for extremely stale, desiccated bread. That doesn't mean that there's something suspicious about it or that it's not real food.
Yesterday, I found a local farm stand and put out some cucumbers from the farm stand and a grocery store.
I watched a number of this creator's videos, but this cucumber video is the one that I really want to settle on because I think there's a number of points here that help us understand what pseudoscience is at play, help us think a little bit more critically about what we're seeing here so that we don't panic and say like, there's some vast conspiracy about our food. Sure, there's a lot of adulterated food in the United States. There's a lot of trying to bulk out our food with ingredients that increase the profit margin of corporations. Like highly processed food is not necessarily more nutritionally beneficial to you. It's not necessarily better for your health. It's all about putting out food that maximizes profit for corporations. But like we're looking at cucumbers here. So she has a hothouse cucumber that she bought at the grocery store versus cucumbers that she got at a local farm stand. You don't know at all the conditions under which that farm stand cucumber was cultivated. You don't know if they bought hybrid seeds, if they bought open pollinated seeds to start their cucumbers. You don't know if it was grown with organic methods. They could have just been dumping 7 like all over that farm field. You don't know. But also you're comparing 2 different varieties of cucumber. The hothouse cucumber is an entirely different variety, and it has been cultivated for maximum shelf life and shippability, to bruise less easily so that it can get from the field through all of that packaging shipped on trucks to the grocery store. The priority is not actually flavor profile, it's not actually nutrition. There's not a lot of nutrition in cucumbers, but anyway, the goal there is the aesthetic of the cucumber and also how easily it ships and how long it can sit on the shelf versus an entirely different cucumber grown by that farmer. And this comparison of like, well, one doesn't have seeds. You guys, so many of our crops are developed not seedless grapes, etc., because consumers don't want seeds. I sure love my Concord grapes in my garden, but they are full of seeds and people don't want to eat those and they don't want to spit them out. Hence the development of seedless varieties. That's because of consumer demand, not because like something suspicious is going on. But when we look at this farm stand cucumber that has these mature seeds in it, right, they're put out together, the hothouse cucumber and the farm stand cucumber, and people in the comments were flipping out about how more of the farm stand cucumber slices were consumed. That's because they had mature seeds. Critters in the garden want protein and fat. They want calories. Ask any gardener. The thing that critters go for, rats, any other rodents, raccoons, birds like crows, they want maximum protein and fat, and they have a big source of it, a concentrated source of it when it comes to mature seeds. It's just like during the salmon runs in the spring and the fall, grizzly bears will harvest the salmon, fish the salmon out of the river, and they'll just eat the brains and the skin. Why is that? Because that's where all the fat stores are, and they're trying to maximize their caloric intake. There's very little caloric value in the flesh of a cucumber. It all resides in the seeds. So of course, critters are going to go for the seeds first versus the hothouse cucumber. I guess I just want to encourage folks that there are a lot of issues with our food supply. There are a lot of concerns about food safety. There's a lot of concerns about industrial agriculture prioritizing corporate profit over our experience as eaters, over our nutrition. I think we should be supporting hyper-local food systems, local farmers markets. But we can do all of that without trying to use pseudoscience in order to convince people. Okay, don't forget to click like and subscribe. I'll be back soon.